7:09. What are we doing today? Rehearsal.
We will be identifying vertical angles and supplementary angles and complementary angles and explore their relationships.
Okay. Okay. What do you think this word means? What do you think?
Like you're gonna look,
Okay.
find out.
Okay. How? How do you think we find out? How?
See what they can do different problems.
Okay. Anyone else want to comment? Rashmi?
Maybe you'll learn about them.
Okay, we're going to learn about them. What do you think we're going to learn about that? What about them?
Well, it says relationships, so how very similar.
Okay. Kazi. Well, what do you think we're going to learn about them? So we're going to explore the relationships. What do you think? What else? Louder?
I think we'll learn how to use complementary and supplementary angles.
And ultimately, what's the main angle that we're going to look at, though? So, okay, here's a little introduction. Can somebody maybe read the introduction for us while we keep going? Michaela.
Some angles can be classified according to their positions or measurements in relation to other angles.
What do you think that means?
Are we talking in the introduction?
What do you think that means?
Some angles can be shown in relation to other angles by the way that they are shown.
Okay, good. Right here we have a diagram, and we have here vertical angles. Can someone read what vertical angles are? That's me.
Vertical angles are two angles whose sides form two pairs of opposite rays. We can think of these as opposite angles formed by an X.
So, if we look at this X right here, right, what main part from the vertical angles do you think would apply to this diagram? So we have our definition here. What part from this definition would apply to our diagram? Nor.
It shows that there are two pairs of angles that have the same degrees or measurement.
Okay.
And it looks like angle 1 and angle 3, they're opposite of each other and they seem to have the same measurement.
Okay, so they're opposite of each other.
Please pardon the interruption, Ms. Ramray. Please report to your room at this time. Ms. Ramray, please report to your room at this time. Thank you.
So can somebody maybe come up to the board and say, and highlight what angles they think are opposite each other and might make vertical angles? What angle do you think might make vertical angles? Highlight the angles that you might think. Okay, why did you highlight those? Okay, according to the definition though, what else about them? Louder? They're opposite? Okay. Do you see any other vertical angles up here? Any other angles that might be opposite each other? John, Prince, can you come up and highlight for us?
But don't they have to be vertical?
Okay. Why is that? Why would those two be vertical angles? The class. They're opposites? Alright. Anaya.
But doesn't vertical mean up and down?
Okay, so a nice thing doesn't vertical mean up and down. So why would those two be vertical angles? Can someone maybe answer that? Alexis.
Because if you look at the other way, it's vertical. Like if you twist it, it's vertical.
So you need to rotate it. Okay. Let's see. So if I was to rotate it like this?
Yep.
Oh,
Fancy.
Look what just happened. Now look. Do you think I could do this anyway? Do you think if the angles were like this, even if they're diagonal, they could still be rotated vertical?
Yes.
Destiny?
Yes.
Why?
Because you can turn it back.
Better?
Because you can turn it back around and it will still be vertical.
Okay. So if you guys, you're all sitting in groups, most of you are sitting in groups of 4. Do you see a person, if you take this vertical angle definition, a person that might be vertical to you, or form something that's vertical to you? Okay? Or if you're looking at it in terms of this x, okay, and you're looking at vertical angles, remember, think about it like this. Who might be vertical to you? Recall. Gavin Beer, why? Louder, I don't think that Sadie can hear you. She's saying what? Okay, let's look at recall. Okay. Anyone else? That
Vertical to me.
why?
Because in that direction I'm sitting, he's opposite, so because he's the opposite side, he's vertical.
Okay, excellent. So if we were to make angles here, if you were to make this into a nice cross section, that person in what direction from you is vertical? In what direction?
This direction.
What direction is that? What's that called?
Diagonal.
Perfect. Perfect. And that's how we can think of these angles.
Or you think of like the desk as an X and it's X and there are 2 angles like that.
Can you say that louder?
It's like our desk, they're like, it makes the S, X, since there's 2 X, it's like at 2 angles, then they're side by side and that's what it is.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so right now we know how to see these vertical angles. Let's see if we can see them in more cross sections. So we have a set of lines. Where might be some vertical angles in these lines? What are maybe 2 angles that we can identify as vertical angles? Michael,
1 and 4.
why would you say 1 and 4?
Because they're opposite of each other.
And what shows you that? What shows you that they're opposite of each other?
That,
Okay, you know, Michael, we're going to get back to you. Maybe someone can help Michael out anew. What do you think about them might make them vertical angles?
1's up and 4 is down. Up is opposite of down, so they're opposites and 1. They'll make it vertical.
Okay, anyone else want to have a question?
Well, for the same angle, but for a different angle.
Fine, how about we think about this? What are some questions we might have to ask in order to define these vertical angles? So why don't you think of it as this? What are some questions we might have to ask to define these vertical angles? Think about that. Okay, what are some questions we might want to ask in order to help us identify these vertical angles? Norm.
We're trying if it's opposite of each other, and we also trying if they're diagonal, and you can have like the same degrees in the measurement.
Okay, Robert.
I was going to say which angles are vertical, the diagonal.
Okay, good. So are 1 and 4 kind of diagonal? Are they opposite from each other?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay. What else can we identify here? Anaya.
5 and 2.
5 and 2 what?
Because they're across from each other, like diagonal.
Okay.
Oh, and I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, is it a certain way that you have to write the angles? Like, should it be from the smallest angle to the largest?
No. That's a good question. Down here.
6, angle 6 and angle 3.
Okay, why do you think angle 6 and angle 3?
Because they're opposite from each other and they're
They're opposite of each other. Anything else? Anyone want to add anything else onto that? Joseph? Louder? Some angles here might make supplementary angles. Do you see any of those? Okay, Vashni. What? You may write on this, but one person, you're going to be in pairs for this. So, wait. So, for example, I need Destiny, Robert, you two will work together. Kenya, Vashni, and Caleb, you three to work together. And then, maybe if I can have Ramaprit and Prince, and then Sadi, Tessa, and Nora work together. And everyone else is a person right next to you, okay? Right next to you. Any questions? Okay.
Show me a picture of the worksheet. Can you bring the worksheet up to me so I can take a picture of it?
And I'll let you know in 10 minutes, okay? Okay, so right now just you and Kayla. Okay, so make sure you follow me.
So
The 45. You measure the length of it. You're going to measure the angle from the protractor. 45. Or 44. Right, Anaya, because those lines continue on with the arrows, you can't actually measure them because they're infinite.
I think one F for that's still a cute. Yeah, and then look at where it's at. It has to be in the middle. Yeah, it's right there, and look, it's at 7. Well, it's not exactly 7. Are you sure? A straight angle.
So that means now you find it too. Yeah, measuring what? Angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary, angle 2 is 30. That's just an example. You're going to do that using your own facts. Are they?
No, I'm just saying.
Well, no, I'm saying, what would you do for your situation?
So I could measure the centimeters like
And why do you do that?
because it's 70. That's not.
Good, so keep that. That's what I want you to look at. Okay? Just write that. I'm asking you to write it out. That's how you're going to go to the rest, okay?
The other one is also the same.
Angle 1 and angle 2. It says angle 3 is equal to
Angle 1, angle 2 have what relationship? Okay, so doing something like that.
No, don't write that down. We have to measure that. We're measuring that. So that's the
Okay, so that means when we're doing angle 1, okay, so how would you say angle 1 angle
Yeah.
That's what I mean by example. You're going to use with your information. Okay, that's why I had a
Miss Cohen, we're done.
in like 30 seconds, we're going to go over this. Right now, I want you guys to think. What might be the vertical angle property based on what you're getting? Okay, 7 and 9 on the count of 3. I need your attention up here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so before we go over what you found as the vertical angle property, or what you really found was the relationship between vertical angles, I want to hear from each group because you had different lines that intersected. We did? Okay, yeah. What were some questions you had to ask yourself in order to find the angles, the measurements of different angles? Someone in group A, Gavin and Dia.
Some of the questions I have to ask myself is what if I see a supplementary angle or anything.
Okay. What angles are vertical? Good. Okay, and then maybe someone else from group A, what were some things you did to find the measurements of the other angles? What were some things that you did to find the measurements of the other angles? Someone in group A, group Paul.
So we're gonna take the measurement.
Anaya, you sit down. Anaya. Okay. Okay, I need everyone in group C. Everyone up here, let's listen to Rapal. Rapal, can you...
What two angles are supplementary? Do you speak a little louder? Because I can't really hear you. What I asked myself was what two angles are
Okay, and when you found that out, what would you be able to do? Good. We could use supplementary angles to find other measurements. Okay, group B. What are some questions you might have to ask yourself in order to complete this task? What? Okay, group B, what's something that you might have to use? Good. Anything else? Anything else? Destiny. Which angles are diagonal? Good. Okay, group 3, what about you? What are some questions you have to ask yourself? Some things that you have to do to go through this step to complete this activity? Someone on group C. Kazi, loud and clear.
We use complementary, supplementary, and vertical angles to solve find all the angles.
Okay, so how can we form that as a question? Listen.
How to use complementary of vertical angles to find all the angles.
Anyone else in book 3, what are some things that you had to look at in order to help you solve this? Anu.
We had to look at the signs on the angles, like the little boxes and the arches that connect the angles, see what they meant, and then they would help us find out the measurements.
Okay, and what would that mean, the little arches?
The one that connects angle 7 and angle 8, the double bar, it shows that it's 45 degrees.
Why?
Because it's straight through the complementary angle, which means that it's 45 degrees and 90 is the complementary angle, and half of it is 45.
Okay. Louder, Joseph. Okay. And so look at the relationship. So altogether, what can we say the vertical angle property is? Based on this activity, from what you saw, what was the relationship between the vertical angles? So this side you can see multiple hands. What relationship did you see between the vertical angles? Fashioning.
The relationship we saw between vertical angles is that each of the angles all have the same measurement, the ones that are vertical to each other.
So you're saying, say that again louder, and I want other people to comment.
I said that the relationship they have together is that each vertical angle has the same measurement.
Okay, did anyone else find that something similar to that?
We also found out that the opposite angles they add up to 180.
The opposite angles, like the vertical angles they have 180?
No, like the other measurements, like let's say.
But what about the vertical angles? What did you find about that?
They all have the same measurement.
Okay, and the group, I'm sorry.
And also they make their own supplementation.
Okay. And then group C, what about you? Joseph?
Vertical angle horizontal and are equal to each other.
Good. So, what's the statement we can write for vertical angles? Can somebody maybe come up with a statement for vertical angles? And new.
We wrote that the vertical angle property is that vertical angles share the same measurements.
Okay. Excellent. Good job. Excellent job. So, to wrap this up, I'm going to give you a summary question, okay, on the board, and I'm going to collect. I'm also going to collect these. Make sure you have both names.
What's this?
Yeah. And I'm going to give you the last 5 minutes to complete the summary that I'll put on the board as well. Okay? Any questions? Thank you. And then say and then please out.